33, there are no talking points, no scripts, no safety net. Just Rich, Virginia, and whatever happens next. The 933 Experiment. This is News Radio WRVA.
All right, 933 here on News Radio WRVA. We call this the 933 Experiment because, well, honestly, nobody else wanted to take credit for it. So it's all on me. I fought that we could take telephone calls, give you a voice. That's why we do this. So there's days where the phone lines are jammed. There's days where they're crickets. There's days where the text messages come hot and heavy. And there's days where, well, nothing comes in. So we just don't know. It's just completely unpredictable what happens at 9:33 when we open this up. I'll tell you. The telephone number for you to join us in the program, 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. So there's a big story, and I've seen it in a bunch of different places. There's a Pizza Hut that they retrofitted to look like the Pizza Hut that you grew up with. It's got the red and white cloth, plastic tablecloths. It's got the big red cups. It looks like an old school Pizza Hut that you and I grew up with. Now,
do the prices look the same?
No. I don't ruin my fantasy here of going back and reliving the 80s.
Sorry.
But it looks like one of those old school Pizza Huts. And people are flocking to it, Gary. They don't have enough workers. They're having to pull people from other Pizza Huts to come work at the store because people are just wanting to go, put down your phones, stop the distractions, and live like the 1980s. And it's Gen Z and millennials that are embracing this harder than anybody else.
Everything old is new again.
It was, well, number one, it was a simpler time. I mean, you and I felt the pressure. Dave, we felt the pressure of what growing up in the 80s was like. And for us, completely overwhelming. But compared to what kids are dealing with right now, I think we had a pretty easy time. We had to worry about, were we going to get a nuclear war and other things, but the kids now today, the pressure they have on them is overwhelming. So I asked the question this morning on Facebook, newsradiowrva.com on Facebook, facebook.com/newsradiowrva. If Doc Brown shows up in the DeLorean and he says, quick, we're going back to the future. You can bring one thing back from the 80s. What would you bring back? What would you bring back? And we've also asked that question this morning on the James River Air text line, 833-804-1140. And now I want to open up the phones and hear your voice. What would you bring back if you could bring one thing back from the 1980s? 833-804-1140. Gary, do you have any idea? What would you want to bring back?
I kind of liked the governor's Ronald Reagan idea.
That's one that a lot of people hit me up this morning on the James River Air text line. Bringing back Ronald Reagan. Would be...
Bringing back 1980s prices would not be bad.
No.
I had
not
hair
bad.
in 1980. In the 80s.
Did you have a mullet?
I did not.
Okay. Brought back the mullet. That would be... Although I see kids today, they have the 2026 version of the mullet.
I have seen that as well.
Yeah. So what would you bring back from the 1980s? I'm with you, Gary. I'd bring back the one thing. If I can only bring one thing back. Now, there's a whole bunch of stuff I'd want to bring back. But it would be Ronald Reagan. First and foremost, the country needs leadership right now. And I think Ronald Reagan is needed now more than ever. Okay. So outside of Ronald Reagan, what else will we want to bring back? 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. I'm almost positive this audience would say Ronald Reagan number one, and without a doubt, and I'm glad they're saying that because he truly was amazing in everything that he did, and how he restored America.
Well, there you go again.
There you go again. Well, Nancy, and you know you could tell that we're feeling that nostalgia for him between that Reagan movie that Dennis Quaid did. Now Jeff Daniels is in a movie about Ronald Reagan, and then Gary, I'm not sure if anybody has said this. They're re-releasing the Dennis Quaid version of the Reagan movie.
Like an extended cut, right?
Extended director's cut. That just tells you that movie from a couple years ago, people are looking for Ronald Reagan-esque leadership. And the people that produced that movie, and I know one of them, we've had some business dealings before, but people are looking for that Ronald Reagan type of leader. And the fact they're bringing that movie back out and re-releasing it with the director's cut just tells you people are looking for that kind of leadership right now as we get to these midterm elections. So what would you bring back from the 1980s if you could? Here's the number, 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. Gary, we talked about it this week, MTV playing videos. That would be nice, right?
Right. MTV playing videos, Sports Center showing highlights.
Van Earl Wright and headline news.
CNN headline sports.
Van Earl Wright. Because you knew you would tune in at 20 and 50 past the hour just to get scores.
Right. And then if Van Earl Wright wasn't working, you're like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, who's this guy? All right. So that there would be something that I'd want to bring back. I said 280Zs.
I'm on Team Super Dave on that one.
All right, let's start taking telephone calls. 833-804-1140. I got Samantha on line one, I believe. Samantha, welcome. You're on News Radio WRVA. Samantha, line one. There you are. Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. I have a very simple answer. I would bring back the house phone. You know, the phone that is actually connected to the wall. Everybody knows where it is. You don't have to charge it. You don't have to do anything. You just answer it or don't answer it. I mean... Right.
Do you remember when we didn't even have answering machines?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
No, I have to ask you. I have to ask you a couple of important questions here. Are you ready?
Yes.
What color was your wall phone?
Gosh, I'm trying to think. I know we had that sort of harvest yellow.
Yes, there was harvest yellow, avocado, or like a cream color.
Yeah, it depends on which house. When I was probably really young, I think it was the avocado.
Yes. Now, did you have the extra long cord so you could walk from one room to the other?
I think not when I was a young kid, but older, yes, we did. I mean, it probably wasn't super duper long, but you could definitely sit on the floor, kind of go around the corner. Oh, yes.
Mom, I'm on the phone. Stop. Mom, I'm talking to my friends on the phone.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So I say this all the time. I wish I did. I'm bad. I'll just, you know what? I just admit it to you because I'm trying to be as transparent as I can on the radio. I've got 2 cell phones, which is too many. I would love to not have a phone. I would love to not be constantly berated or accessible. Wouldn't it be nice just to not have a phone?
That would be wonderful. I think that would, I don't want to say it would solve a lot of things, but it would definitely make things, it would make people's lives better. It really would.
It would well, you know what it would do? It would take the stress level down. It would take the stress level down because you wouldn't be overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. So I'll be honest, just here's what I'm trying to do. And I'm not doing a very good job of this, but I got to make a commitment. I'm trying to put all the screens away, turn them off, and read a book for a half hour every day. I'm not successful at it yet, but I'm working at it.
That's a good goal. You know, you just have to do the best that you can every single day. And I think that's good. I think everybody does need to put down the phone, not be scrolling and looking and wondering who's calling. That's what text, that's what voicemails are for. If it's important, they'll call back.
Okay,
I agree.
Sorry. Nobody's made that statement in about 20 years. If it's important, they'll call back. No, now I've got to get you. You've got to call me right now, and I've got to pick up. Hey, like my brother yells at me. He goes, when I call you, you better pick up right now. And then I hang up on him.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thanks, you as well.
You're the best. Thank you. Oh, you just made my day. And my brother's probably listening now, so he's going to call me afterwards. If I call you, better pick up. All right, Barbara, line 2. Good morning. Welcome. You're on News Radio WRVA.
Hey, Rich. One of the things that I miss is the clothing, how people dress so much more nice, professional. People weren't walking around in pajama bottoms, etc. Big, people. You look back at TV shows, like maybe even I don't know, Magnum PI or Matlock.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
wait a minute. Magnum PI wore those short shorts.
Yeah, but at least they were. Yes, but you know, at Matlock, women were dressed nicely.
Right.
I mean, would you turned into slobs.
Would you bring back the shoulder pads?
Probably not.
So it's funny. So I talk about my son all the time because I love him. I'm so proud of him. I miss him very much. It's funny. He has this brand of shorts that he loves. They sell them out of Green Top. They're called Chubbies. I wear shorts that go all the way down to my knees. He wears them like mid-thigh, like Magnum PI. Now, he's a lot younger, thinner, and better looking than I am. But I'm like, dude, those are Magnum PI shorts. He's like, oh, my God, these are the greatest shorts ever. He bought like 5 pairs to take back to school. I'm like, okay, dude, if you want to dress like the 1980s. He wears a Hawaiian shirt. He wears those shorts. I'm like, you could have just taken my wardrobe from 1983, and that's what you're wearing to school right now.
Right. What do they say? Everything old is new again. Don't they say that?
But Barbara, can I tell you something crazy? You want to hear something completely crazy?
Okay.
So, before I did this, I was in sports. And before we moved here, we were living in Arizona, and I was one of the broadcasters for the University of Arizona. I did the pre and post game show. So I'm on campus all the time. I'm around the college kids all the time. And on Fridays, they'd have this big rally, and the band would be there, the football team would be there. So I go do the radio show. Barbara, I'm not kidding you. They the bar that we had the show from, it was a 2-story bar. It was called Illegal Pete's. They served Mexican food, and then they had a bar upstairs. So I would do the show on the balcony from the bar upstairs. You can see me, people wave. It was really fun. Underneath me, they would temporarily rent out the space for the day of the pep rally to a business that would come in that would sell T-shirts and caps and everything. You'd think, oh, okay, these are school things. Like if you go to Virginia Tech, they'd be selling Virginia Tech T-shirts. I went down and looked at it, Barbara. That's not what they were selling. Take a wild guess of what kind of clothing they were selling.
I don't know.
Are you ready for this?
Okay.
Vintage 1980 gear that they must have found.
Oh, my goodness.
They must have found in like a Goodwill, or they went in my garage and took boxes of all the clothes that I've saved over the years. Now, Barbara, here's the crazy part. And these are vintage 1980s because I asked the one shirts that all these kids wanted. And again, remember, these kids, most of the kids who go to school with my son, they're all California kids from Southern California that didn't get into USC and couldn't get into San Diego State, so they go to Tucson and party. These kids wanted, they specifically looked for shirts that said like National Champions 1983. Anything that had an 80s on it, they wanted. Now, Barbara, this is the part was crazy, okay? Like a 1983 Super Bowl T-shirt. Take a wild guess. This is a frayed, old, beat up, faded T-shirt. How much do you think they were charging for these shirts?
$100.
Pretty close. I see these kids going out there spending $300-$400 on T-shirts they can go into the back of my closet and find. But they all wanted that vintage look. And I would walk across campus and I'd see kids with like 1983 Toronto Blue Jays World Series champion shirts. I'm like, where'd you get that? Oh, there's a retro shop over there. They have retro shops that all these kids wanted this 1980 stuff. People look at the 1980s and now they embrace it. This is just a couple of years ago. They're all embracing it because it was a simpler time. Didn't seem like it when you and I were growing up, but they look at it as a much simpler time than what they deal with now.
I know. That's true. That is true. But so many things, just we're better than, and, they do love the retro, just like retro design in the housing is coming back. I don't know why.
It's because I honestly think this. You look at our generation of Gen X or the Boomers. These kids look at us and we're semi-normal, right? We're not anxiety ridden. We're not taking a bunch of pills. We're not taking Ritalin. We're not you taking Xanax. Nothing really stresses us. And we're not sitting on our phone. We actually have real friends. I mean, I've got buddies of mine. My son laughs. He goes, if you guys went out and you're old men and somebody started a fight, you guys would all jump in and fight at the age of 50 and 60 because you guys cared about each other so much. He goes, my fraternity brothers were there, but he goes, what I really wish we had is I see you and your friends and how close you are. You guys are old men and you still act like those are your best friends. He goes, my generation just doesn't have that.
And I don't know what the difference is, but there's definitely a difference.
Well, okay.
For sure.
I'll throw this out at you. And again, Riggs is going to get mad at me. His generation, they don't know how to talk to each other. He goes out. So I taught him this. He can go out and talk to strangers. The rest of the kids that he goes to school with and a lot of the guys in his fraternity, they can't go out and just walk up and start up a conversation with people. Like he goes out to the bars. He's 25. So, he goes out to the bars and he'll just walk up and strike a conversation with a group of girls. And the rest of the guys like, oh my God, did you see what he did? They actually don't know how to approach each other because all they do is talk to each other on text messages or on dating apps.
Yes, I agree. And it's funny. I was at the doctor's office the other day and I was looking, everybody was sitting there on their phones. Everybody. You go to a restaurant, not a really nice restaurant, but just any restaurant.
Yeah.
Most of the people are on their phones. And it's funny because about a couple of years ago, we were out to dinner. Texas Roadhouse, doesn't matter. And it was
I love the
homecoming. And there was a table of about 15 high school kids. And there was maybe 5 guys, 8 girls and whatnot. They were all sitting there on their phones.
And that's that personal interaction that you and I have that the kids of this generation wish they see the pictures, they look at these things and they wish they had what we did. We didn't appreciate it at the time. Now you look and you talk to the kids of this next generation, they wish we had what we did. We thought it was tough. You had the Cold War and everything that happened during the 80s. Compared to what these kids go through now, they're under a lot more pressure. They're under a lot more pressure, and they've had to grow up faster than we ever did. Barbara?
Yeah, I think that's true.
I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
All right, thank you, Rich. Love you. Were such an asset to Richmond. I'm so glad you're here. Truly.
I love you so much. Thank you. You made my day. Yeah. Thank you.
1 minute.
All right. Dave's telling me to shut up and talk because it's time to get ready for our post-game show. You can find that Facebook.com/News Radio WRVA. All right, our national anthem brought to you by Freedom Services and Training. Freedom Services and Training, the biggest little gun store in town located in Mechanicsville. All right, you know where I'll be on Saturday. Come by, visit, enjoy, spend time with me. Come out and see the car show with the River City Wranglers. Come by, have a steak sandwich with me. It's going to be great, and we'll raise money for Reads Across America. I'll be there. I'll start cooking like 9:30. Don't worry about the rain. It should be done by the time we start serving at 11 o'clock. So please come out and help me raise money for Reads Across America so we make sure that we get a wreath for every headstone at our national cemetery here in Richmond. All right, that's going to do it for the show. Check us out, Facebook.com/News Radio WRVA. Dave and I will have the post-game show. I get up every morning. A couple things I believe in. My country, my family, that's why we do it every morning on News Radio WRVA.
Please stand for the national anthem of the United States of America.
Oh, say, can you see